Hello and welcome. Today we are doing a pick a card reading to see what the month of April holds for you in your career and or finances. So as we dive into this reading together, please remember that you are the creator of your reality. So always take what you need from these readings, take what resonates, and leave what doesn't. Please always be looking to find your own truths, clarity, and alignment in these readings, whatever that looks like for you. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Taylor Eaton, and I am the author of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, which is one of the decks that I have here for you to choose from today. And by the way, we are sold out of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck at the moment, but pre-order is open for our next print run. So if you want to grab your own copy of the deck, reserve that copy for yourself so you can use it to get whatever guidance you need at any time around money, career, abundance, or success, then be sure to go to the links in the description and in the pinned comment to reserve your copy of our next print run. Before we select your pile for the reading, please remember that the only place that I offer private readings is inside of the Wealth Vibe membership, which is the membership that I created and that I run. So please be aware of anyone pretending to be me on social media or even in the comments of this video offering you a private reading. Those people are not me. All right. And if you are looking for a high vibe community full of like-minded people, exclusive mini readings, money meditations, and just tons of resources to help you manifest the wealth you desire, you are more than welcome to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership. We are starting a challenge on April 1st where we will be quantum leaping into more abundance. So if you want to come join in for that, or just to get all the other amazing perks of being in the membership, the link for the Wealth Vibe membership is also in the description and the pinned comment below. Now, with all of that being said, it is time to pick your deck so we can see what the month of April holds for your finances and or career. So if you haven't already, take a look at the piles here and see which one you are intuitively drawn to. We have deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, and deck 4. If you like to use crystals to choose, or if that helps you narrow down your decision of which deck or reading is really meant for you, then I'm going to give you a close-up of those right now. So for deck 1, we have our fire quartz crystal. For deck 2, we have amethyst. For deck 3, we have Argonite. And for deck 4, we have Angelite. So go ahead if you need and pause the video, take however long you need to choose which pile or piles are meant for you. You are absolutely welcome to watch more than one pile. If multiple are calling to you, that just means that there are pieces of guidance meant for you in each reading. So once you have chosen your deck or decks, you can navigate to the timestamps below in the description and in the pinned comment to jump to whichever pile or piles you're called to, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, deck number 1. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. So we're going to dive right in today, and we're just going to start shuffling. We're going to start with your deck. Let's see. I want to know what's coming deck 1's way this month around money. I'd love to know, particularly, what money blessings or opportunities might be coming your way around money or career for deck 1. Ooh, okay. We have a lot of cards popping out for you, my loves. I think I'm feeling, yep, this one right there. That came through fast for you. All right, so we have Defy Gravity. We have Easy Does It. Bloom Like a Badass. You are in for such a cool month, deck 1. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get the rest of the cards down before before I get into it, because the messages are flying fast here for you today. Okay, deck 1, what I'm seeing for you in April for your finances and career. I see a glow up. I see an up level. I see that everything you've been working toward for the last few months or years is coming to a head. I feel like a similar message on this came through in a somewhat recent reading. So some of you might be coming from a previous reading on my channel where a similar message came through, which is just double confirmation for you, if that's you, if you've heard me say these similar words before. But what's really beautiful about all of these cards that came up is the amount of ease that you are going to be hitting a lot of goals that you've been working toward around your finances and or career. Like I see you hitting milestones, finally maybe getting that job you've been dreaming of or that promotion, maybe hitting that next income level. I could see if you're in business, finally hitting certain income per month or per year that you finally are locking into and you haven't seen before. I just see you doing something, especially with our Defy Gravity card, is this first card that came out for you. I'm seeing just this ease and this rise to the top is what I'm getting. Top of your industry, top of your field, top of your business, top of your niche, top of your company you work at. I'm just seeing you rise above. Like I'm also getting the message of like there's no competition. There's no competition. Whatever competition you think, or going into April, like at the end of March, beginning of April, any competition that you could see potentially, deck one, it doesn't exist. It's either just in your head, or more of what I'm getting is that you are going to just be killing it. You're going to be executing so powerfully and flawlessly on projects, tasks, marketing, whatever it is that you're doing in your career or business or your money-making activities. You're going to be just nailing it so flawlessly that like no one can compete even if they try. So anyone else that you might be up against for that job or that promotion or getting that role, or anyone else in your industry you might be compared to by others, or you might compare yourself to, by the end of April, by the end of the month, that competition no longer exists for you. Because no one can keep up. They cannot compete with, you are defying gravity. You are defying the odds. You are defying what people thought was possible at the rate they thought it was possible at. There's so much light energy in these cards. This is even looking at like the colors here, very light, very springtimey, right? I know this is a very floral heavy deck, but there are cards in this deck they have darker backgrounds, all that. Everything came out so light. There's a lot of flowers. Things are blooming. We have bloom like a badass. Like there's so much that it's like, so much is popping into your life. So much is coming into your life that you've been working toward, that you've been manifesting, that you've been putting in the hours toward or the energy toward for a long time now. You have been, whatever you had in the works, whatever you've been going for, it's like it's starting to take off. It's starting to bloom. You're starting to reap those rewards, and no one can catch you. No one can stop you. No one can, no one can compare, right? So this is the first thing, right? It's just, you are, with these two cards specifically, you are soaring to the top. The things you have been wanting or desiring or moving toward are starting to bloom. I get that for some of you, you will have the full manifestation or fruition of whatever it is that you've been working toward, whether it's a financial milestone, paying off a certain amount of debt, getting that job, getting the promotion, hitting that income level in your business or your life, all those things that I mentioned, right? Like a lot of you will see all of that come this month. For many of you though, you will just be starting to see the beginning of it. And this is like the start of your next chapter, your next up level in life. We're entering Q2 of this year. I'm just realizing as we're doing this reading. And so whether you're in business or not, breaking the year up into quarters, it's like, this is a new chapter. It's also, we're moving into springtime. The world is in bloom. You're moving in step with the universe, right? Well, at least the world is in bloom for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, I should say. You are moving into step with the universe, with the world around you, with the cosmos. That's really cool. That's really exciting. And it's not only that no one can keep up with you because you're so amazing. That is part of it, because you are blooming like a badass, right? It's also that the universe is like, I'm getting like this big whooshing sensation of like this gust of like divine supportive wind, almost like coming up and raising you up, getting beneath your wings, just elevating you in a way that no one else is so divinely supported. No one else has that kind of support, that backing from the universe because you've been working intentionally with the universe or in alignment with your higher self for so long now that it's all starting to kind of come to a head and starting to all just whoosh, just open up for you. So that's the main first thing that's available. What I'm also seeing is that this card, the Easy Does It card with the sloth, there's kind of two messages that are coming through for you. The biggest one is that this is going to feel easy. It's going to feel easy to you. The way that everything plays out, the way that what you desire manifests, it's going to feel pretty easy to you. Deck one, it's going to feel pretty easy, which is great. It's going to be like, you're going to be like, wow, I thought it would have been a lot harder. But the truth is you've been putting in the work for a while now toward what you desire, whether it's like actions and physical work or hustling in your business or your career or budgeting meticulously. Could be that, or it could even be just your energy, the intentional manifestation techniques you've been doing, the mindset work you've been doing. So it could be the inner or outer or both, but like you've been putting in the work in some way, at least one way or more, and it's starting to pay off. And so you've been putting in the work for a while, and now it gets to be easy. Now it gets to be easy. So this is the first thing, is it gets to be easy. And that's what a fun ride. It's really, I see you being on a ride this year, with just being whoosh, lifted up by the universe and by all these things just falling into place, right time, all of that. I see you just being lifted up in the universe and like soaring to the top. No one can catch you. No one can rise like you do, because they don't have this divine support and synchronicity in alignment with the universe. But also it's like it'll just be fun. It's almost effortless. It's like you don't even have to think about it. You're so in flow with yourself, with your desires, with the universe. But also, like I just said, right place, right time. Things will start happening that feel almost lucky, or they'll feel so simple. And the universe is saying, enjoy the ride, enjoy it, enjoy how easy it is, and don't overdo it, because I get the sense you're very used to working hard, because like you've been working hard to get to this point in one way or another, where you're at right now at the beginning of April, end of March, as this video is going up. So you've been working hard to get to this point. The universe is saying it's time to switch gears a little bit. It's time to, of course, keep moving forward. You don't have to take your foot off the gas, but switching gears a little bit and just letting things be easy, right? Because what I'm getting is that the biggest way you can sabotage or block yourself from this meteoric rise to success or abundance that you've been waiting for, the biggest thing that's going to prevent you from doing that is just by overdoing it. Because you've been in the habit of working so hard in one way or another for so long, the universe is saying as things start to bloom and you start to feel like you're kind of being like, things are starting to happen, things are starting to pop for you into your reality, all of your manifestations starting to come in with money and career and success, it's going to be really important for you to then just ease up a little bit. Not entirely, it doesn't mean stop. It's like keep going, keep the momentum rolling. But it's like a snowball going down a hill, right? Like it'll gain momentum on its own as it goes. You don't need to be keeping pace with it and pushing just as hard all the time. In fact, that'd be harder for you to do, and you might get in the way of it or get crushed by it, right? So instead, it's that you've done the hard work to start the momentum rolling. You've done the hard work up until this point. You've taken actions, you've done the inner work, whatever it is, to get the snowball rolling down the hill, and now it's getting bigger, it's gaining speed, it's gaining momentum, and you don't have to do quite as much. You can still watch it, you can still maybe kind of jog alongside it at times. This is a weird analogy, but just go with it for a second. But you don't need to be as hands-on, as controlling as in it. Like you're allowed to, the universe saying, you're allowed to pull your energy back from it a little bit and let it be easy. And enjoy everything coming in, and don't second guess and go, oh, it can't be this easy, or the success is going to be fleeting, or it's not going to keep working. It's like the universe is like, give it a chance to be easy. Give it a chance to work. Okay, so that's kind of your sign is once you start, I'm seeing like early to mid-month for most of you, and you're going to start to see things blooming. You're going to start to see these manifestations coming into your life. And at that point, that's when it's time to shift gears. And just as things start feeling easy, you start seeing like things happening and you're like, wow, that was a lot easier than I thought, or I didn't think it could happen that quickly. Let it is what the universe is saying. All right, deck one, let it. What's going to help you do this too is by creating intentional solitude with our koala card here, our create intentional solitude card. And during that solitude time, being in gratitude for everything that's coming in. I want to talk about this, first of all, having some sort of gratitude practice this month will probably serve you very well. Deck 1. So I'm just going to put that out there. Universe says, even if it's just once a day, sitting for 2 minutes, like 1 to 2 minutes, and just thinking of one thing that's manifesting this month for you, that's starting to take shape, or the good news you got, or the talk that you're up for this promotion, or you're being considered for it. It's like, sit with that and be grateful that you're being considered for the promotion. Be excited, radiate it, feel it in your body for just like a minute or two. If you did that every day this month, that's going to be the thing that gives that snowball more momentum toward what you want, rather than you having to do all the hard work to keep pushing it. It's like, just feel good enjoying the idea of it and where you are and how far you've come, right? This card, this has a really important message for you that's coming through from my guides for you. This create intentional solitude. Having some time, right? Again, this is related to when we're talking about taking our foot off the gas a little bit, or just kind of shifting gears and not being quite as gung-ho and in hustle mode, and starting to just let this thing you've been working on kind of take on its life of its own, get the momentum, let it happen for you, and just be less hustly so that you don't get in your own way. So that's part of it, is that by taking some time for yourself and having maybe a little bit more work-life balance, or a little bit more kind of putting your energy into something else that's just for you and not toward manifesting money or your career or anything like that. But it's just something, some hobbies or something like that can help. It can help you shift gears a little bit and not be overly working on what's already working for you. And then, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So that can help. But the bigger message here that I really want to communicate to you, that my guides are just screaming at me to make sure you get this, is that this month in April, it's yes, some solitude in terms of take some time to meditate, take some time to be on your own, do hobbies, things like that, things for you. But more so, I'm getting specifically not being on social media as much. Or if you're already pretty much off of social media, great. Look at where else in your life maybe your energy is being drained by other people or other interactions, and see if you could just pull that back just a little bit, right? This doesn't mean you aren't social. It doesn't mean you don't ever go on social media. Some of you, it might feel good to do, I'm getting a 2-week detox of social media this month. But for most of you, it's just going to be scaling back the time that you're online and consuming from others, because when we do that, we're not in our own energy anymore. We're in other people's energy, and we're consuming, and we're often comparing, right? That's not always the case. But there's just, the universe saying there's a lot. I saw 1313 for you. If that's relevant for you, that's a great sign. The universe is saying there's a lot of potential for more ideas, more inspiration, more energy that's going to bring you even more abundance and help you rise even beyond what you get to this month in future months, and help you sustain this rise that you're about to make. There's a lot of that available for you, but only if you get quiet in your own mind and be more present. Otherwise, you can miss it. So social media this month, while I, don't get me wrong, I love social media. I've built multiple 6-figure businesses off of social media. I think social media is a beautiful tool and a blessing and a way to connect with people. But at times it is incredibly toxic for us, or we just get addicted to it. It's designed to be addicting, right? And we get pulled out of being more present. Our mind starts to become a lot more cluttered when we're on social media all the time. So taking a step back for you. Deck 1, I just saw 1414. There's a lot of confirmation. The universe is really take a break from social media. Again, this could just be being on there a little bit less throughout the day. It could be being off of one specific platform that you know is not helpful for you to be on. It could be completely detoxing for a few days or a week or two, or even the whole month, right? But whatever it feels right to you is what the universe wants you to do. But there's just this really strong nudge. So I just want to make sure we're communicating that message to you here. So much in these cards. There's so much coming your way for you, deck. Okay, I'm gonna put this here so you guys all can see. For you, deck 1. I just pulled from our Wealthy Woman card because I wanted to see what can you do to seize on these opportunities, any other guidance for you around them. We have Radiant Abundance. Right here's Radiate Gratitude. So radiating gratitude for all the abundance you already have. That 1 or 2 minute practice, right, of just daily, or longer if it feels good. But daily this month, making it a point to be feeling abundant, more abundant before the money shows up, more successful before the promotion or the milestone is hit, right? taking time to be grateful for where you are and how far you've come, and feeling successful, feeling wealthy, feeling worthy, feeling like a badass, right? Like feeling like everything you touch turns to gold, feeling like it's your time. You're the star of the show, like feeling like that, and just sitting in that energy and cultivating that habit of it for 1 or 2 minutes a day, maybe longer, ideally longer if it feels good, 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. Go the whole day if you can. That way your life will change real fast when you do that. But doing that is going to be so beneficial for you. Deck 1. We have our Soul Wealth card here from the Wealthy Woman deck. This card is just saying, again, and I love that the placement came up here with this Easy Does It, with that message there was do not, and also with this card, the message, remember, was do not overcomplicate it. Do not get in your own way by thinking it can't be this easy or it has to be harder. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Let things unfold for you. Trust that you've put in the work that you needed to put in to get to where you want to be and that it's all happening, right? So that's that message here. And this is just reiterating, it's like the fastest way this month that you can kill all this amazing kind of up level that's available for you to step into is by clinging too desperately to the wealth you desire. Okay? It's a lot of what this card is. It's that you're innately worthy of everything you desire, of all the wealth you desire. But if you are clinging to it and desperate for it, you will repel it, right? And this is, I'm getting again why it's so important for you to just be a little bit less on social media or in social situations that have you comparing yourself to others in a way that doesn't feel good to you. That makes you think, oh, I'm not far enough along. I'm an imposter. I'll never get to where I want. I'm a failure. I should be richer or more successful at this point in my life. Anything like that needs to go, because that's going to create or reinforce that feeling, that internal feeling of unworthiness, which creates that desperation for it, that need for the external thing, the promotion, the money, whatever, to create that validation in ourselves that we are good enough, and look, like I am good enough because I made X amount of money, or I am successful because I have this job or this position or whatever. So the universe is saying, get away from that stuff. Come back to what makes you happy. Your hobbies, your family, your friends, the things, your health, the things that are good in your life, whatever it is. Come back to those things and be in gratitude for all that you have and all that's available to you and all that's coming and all that you've been working toward and how far you've come. Be on that end of the spectrum more rather than the I'm desperate to make the money happen spectrum, right? That's where you need to be this month. That's the energy to be aligned with, is just in radiant, like gratitude and feeling wealthy and feeling worthy of all you desire and feeling like a badass and just radiating that energy out from you everywhere you go as much as possible throughout this month. Like that's the energy for you to embody and be in this month. Yeah, let's see if there's any more. I'm gonna get any more guidance from the universe. This card comes up so often when I use this deck. We have Balance here for Turquoise and Forget-Me-Not. And we also have Secret Garden. God, this is a thick deck, and I keep pulling always the same cards for you guys from this deck, no matter how much I shuffle. Source really wants you to know with this deck, the messages keep coming strong, that it's like, again, you've done the deep healing, the deep work, the inner work that's cracked you open in the past and has now brought you to where you are. And so you've already been cracked open. Again, you've done the deep work or the outer work. You've done the hard work. Now it's time to reap the rewards. But again, you need to be in balance. You've been so much on the end of the spectrum where you have been hustling and working so hard to get to where you are. And that might have been what you needed to do to get to where you are. But now it's time again to shift gears into more ease and allowing things to come in and knowing and trusting truly that you have done enough. You've done enough. You'll keep doing more and more, and you'll keep improving and you'll keep growing and achieving more abundance. But right now you've been in a cycle or a season of hustle, of healing, of deep work, of hard work, of things like that. And now this month, and I mean, we have so much going on astrologically this month, right? Don't even get me started. So it's like so much is now coming forth to finally the end of this healing cycle, for you to be shifting into now a season of ease, of letting your hard work pay off and pay you dividends from it, right? Whether literally or metaphorically. So that's what this is the cycle you're entering into in April. We have the Secret Garden space, which came up over here, right? Secret Garden, sacred space, cultivate your space, inner beauty, self-care. what were we talking about with all these cards on the side of the board, right? They were all about not looking at other people, taking time for yourself, knowing your true innate worth, not being desperate or forcing or clinging to the results or the wealth or the milestone you want or the success. Not, like just not overcomplicating it. Again, slowing down, spending time in nature, spending time literally gardening if you enjoy gardening. I will be in my garden quite a bit this next month as I start cultivating my space. This is at least where I am, and April is the best time to get most of my plants started for the year. We have a lot of flowers coming up for you. I want to note throughout, there's only like one or two cards that don't have a flower on them for you. And this could be a sign for you, if flowers of some sort, or a sign for you. This is confirmation. It also could be that buying yourself flowers or doing things of that are, kind of equivalent of that, doing things for yourself that maybe you're waiting on other people in some way to do for you. It could be literally buying flowers, but it could also be taking yourself out to a nice dinner or celebrating your successes. The big message here is, instead of looking for others to celebrate you or validate you, or looking for the money or the abundance or the success or the whatever it is, the milestones, to happen to make you feel validated, validate yourself first. It's going to speed up what you want coming in even faster this month, and in greater ways and with even more ease. So it's really, really exciting. We're going to grab just one more card for you. Any last guidance the universe has for deck one for this month, for April? The child within. Innocence. We have inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. There's just a lot of tenderness this month, a lot of ease, right? A lot of being gentle with yourself, but also a lot of being gentle, like allowing the world to be gentle to you. Ooh, I just said 22. There's so much confirmation. You're so aligned this month. You've been working at that alignment this month, or for months or years. And it's like, it's clicking, deck one. It's clicking for you. I'm so excited. Like, I'm getting just this, like, my heart feels more and more open as we go into this reading. My energy, the energy that the universe is giving me, is this expansive, loving, beautiful energy that's just so, you've got all these blessings coming to you, and all you've got to do is let them come in and keep doing what you're doing, but just allow it to come in, allow yourself to move into a new chapter. That's what's happening. A chapter of more gentleness, tenderness. I could see a lot more femininity in a way. And even if you aren't someone who identifies as female, we're talking about energetics here. So again, when you think about, you've been in the hard work era of your life, and now you're moving into the ease era. You've been in the hustle mode era, the action taking era. That is the masculine energy. You are moving into the feminine energy, right? We could call it yin and yang. We could call it, like action and receiving, whatever terminology works for you. But you've been in more of that masculine energy, of the energy of do, go, make it happen, hustle, heal, do the inner work, do the work, whatever that work is. And now it's time, you're entering into April, into this era of receiving everything you've worked for, this era of being gentle with yourself, letting the world be gentle with you, letting your manifestations come in gently and easily and swiftly. And it's miraculous. And even here we have like the miracle of life, right? Like, your life gets to be more and more like a miracle this month. Wow. Deck one. That's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I know sometimes when I do these readings, especially these like monthly ones where we're predicting, what's happening next, 'cause a lot of times it's, I'm tapping into your energy and seeing what do you need to hear, what can shift you, what advice do you need, what blocks do you have, what can uplift you, right? But when we do these ones that are more predicting, like what's happening in the next month, it can feel, sometimes, and I get this on the other side of tarot readings too, when I watch them, it's like, it can feel almost disingenuous. They're like, yeah, of course she's going to say that because it's going to, like get me all hopeful and make me feel good. But when I read a reading like this, Declan, I want you to know, this is why there's always the guidance, because you can select anything you want, right? Like, for some of you, you will take these messages and run with them and lean into them, and you will see amazing things manifest in your life this month. And for some of you, you will not necessarily be able to get out of this clutch of like this desperation, or be able to shift gears into allowing it to be easy, and you'll continue to make it harder than it needs to be and slow down your progress, right? Or maybe even self-sabotage. And it's just like, we are, this is what I mean when I say we are the creator of our reality. No matter how beautiful and perfect and idyllic of a reading I have for you, you can always choose differently, whether consciously or not, or for better or for worse. And so this is what is very much available to those of you who picked deck 1. This is like this amazing month for you. But there always has to be this understanding of agency. And why I feel it's so important to tell you this right now is because it's going to be real easy for you this month, deck 1, to slip into the trap of just continuing to be busy and hustling, because you've been there. So it might feel like you're kind of stuck in that energy. But the universe is really saying, slow down to create a gratitude practice, radiate that abundant gratitude, take some time for yourself, for your hobbies, do the things that allow you to feel more at ease in your life. Remove yourself from the situations that keep you almost like feeling like you have to be in the hustle mode because you're looking at others who are hustling, or looking at others who are further ahead of you and saying, I need to hustle too. Like that, those are the practical things that you can do to make sure that you're choosing this amazing, amazing up level for yourself this month. And also this concept of like choosing your reality. This is very much what we're doing in our April challenge in the Multiply memberships with our quantum leaping. So if you want to come join me for that, get my exact methodology and practice and a whole challenge and support from me and the community to help you do that, to quantum leap into your reality, shift into the timeline you want over and over and over until it manifests, then I'd love to have you come join me right in the membership. That link is in the description below. But yes, this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from this reading, how it resonated, or what you're manifesting this coming month. I always love getting to read your comments. I try to read as many as I can, even if I cannot respond to them all. They truly mean so much to me and give me inspiration, ideas, and just motivation for future videos. So definitely comment if you feel called to. You are also welcome, if you're not already, to subscribe to this channel for future card readings for abundance. And of course, if you want to pre-order your own copy of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, the link for that is also in the description and pinned comment below this video. So yeah, come join me in the Wealth Vibe if you feel called to. I'd love to see you there for our April challenge and just to get to connect with you and share all of our amazing resources. That link is below as well. So with all of that being said, I'm wishing you just the best April possible. I'm wishing you massive prosperity and abundance, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 2. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. And deck number 2, I will apologize if there's any noise in the background because my dogs really wanted to be in here and they're just moving around making noise, and then we have some work going on right next door, right outside my window where I'm filming. So I will do my best to make sure the noise is edited out as much in post, but apologies, deck number 2, if there is a little bit of background noise. So with that being said, we're going to just dive right into your reading. We'll move your beautiful amethyst shard out of the way, and I want to just get right into it for you. So I want to start with what general money or career expectations or opportunities or even blessings are there available for deck number 2 this month. What opportunities, especially with money or career opportunities or blessings, are coming your way? I feel like the student card has been coming up a lot in the last several readings from our Wealthy Woman Oracle deck here. So we're going to, same with our Abundant Expansion card, I swear, like these cards are, and we have our Catalyst card. All right, so we have, a lot of interesting messages coming through for you all. I'm going to grab, I want at least 2 more cards. Okay, perfect for deck number 2. I often like to bring out cards as I, kind of read them as they come out. But today the messages have been coming through kind of all in one sitting with like a batch of cards at a time. So we're going to go with it. So what I'm seeing for you in April, deck 2, the big things that are available to you. A lot of really good things. A lot of kind of some inner work to be done. Overall, opportunities for growth and expansion around your finances, and especially around your career, around whatever you do. I see the opportunity for a lot of growth for you is really like the main word of the month that I'm picking up on for you, deck 2, is growth, which is great. We want to see growth in our finances, in our career, right? Like we don't want to stagnate. We don't want to see, a shrinking of those things. So I think that, overall this is really, really positive stuff, but there is a little bit of, I'm seeing with our Mend the Flow card here, and even with our Divine Surrender card a little bit, but mostly with our Mend the Flow card, there's going to be a little bit of inner work to do, right? Just a little bit. But the rewards that you can reap from doing that inner work are huge. So here's what I'm seeing as the main thing, and why the main word is growth, right? With all of these cards, the big thing, especially with our first card being down, was the student card. The student card means that that you have so much wisdom, right? And especially in this context, how I'm reading this is that you have so much wisdom to share. And I'm getting the sense that you, for the last little bit, have been feeling like there's deeper you want to go into your own knowledge or into kind of perfecting your craft or whatever it is you do in business or in work, whatever it is you do to call in money or even manage your money. You've been feeling kind of called to, again, that word stagnant's coming up. You've been kind of maybe feeling stagnant and like you're maybe not being pushed to your greatest potential, or you're maybe not being allowed to rise up to your greatest potential or having the opportunity to do so in your current position, your current job, things like that. Or maybe in your business, you just feel like things are stagnating, or maybe just your money's stagnating, right? You just feel like things aren't expanding as much as you'd like them to. And so this month that starts to change. And the big thing is going to be kind of, the universe is saying, every decision you make around money or career, make it with the intent to allow it to expand you or help you grow in some way, right? And if you do that, then you will absolutely, because you're going to be intentionally looking toward, like, I want to grow, I want to expand, you're going to naturally start to see your reality shift in really amazing ways. So there's a lot of abundance that you have available to you to shift into. It's going to come from you embracing, like, first of all, giving yourself credit for how much you already know. That's part of what the student card is asking us to do here. But also turning a lot of your things you've learned already, your wisdom, into knowledge that you've maybe been sitting on, but also really learning more. Being a student still, like seeing where can you dive into learning more? Where can you dive into, again, perfecting your craft more, or becoming more skillful at something, things like that. Like there's something along those lines that I feel like you've been called to, you're maybe conscious of, that you're like, I really want to learn this one thing, or I want to get this certification, or I want to become more adept at this part of my job, or I want to, become more skilled at it, or things like that. And so that's something that the universe is saying, go for that this month, because it's going to have a huge payoff, like a huge payoff. But here's the catch. This is why I was kind of like, this is all good. It's just, I don't want to say a lot of catches, but there's kind of like these stipulations. So there's always these things that we need to be aware of, right? When we are choosing to align ourselves with more abundance, or to call something in or manifest something, there's so many different ways we can go about that, so many different realities, parallel timelines, or even just like, variations of how things can play out, because there's so many factors in any given situation, any given moment, right? So with you, this is it's a month of growth, but it's a month of almost, I'm getting the image of like walking a tightrope, right? Because you're going to want to make sure you're growing, and you're intentionally growing. You're intentionally, saying, okay, how can, I spend my money? I just saw 555 for you, so that's some nice confirmation. But it's, things like, how can I spend my money? If I'm spending my money on this, is it helping me grow in some way? And if the answer is no, do I really need to spend it or want to prioritize spending it? Some things we have necessities. So, like paying your rent or your mortgage, that does help you grow, because then you're not feeling like, I'm worried I won't have a roof over my head, so you can't focus on growing, right? But really relating almost everything you spend, everything you do, all the decisions you make, to how is this going to help me grow, especially in what I do to make money or manage my money in some way. Is this something that's going to help me grow? How is it going to help me grow? And bringing that intention to everything, or at least most things, as it feels aligned to you to do. So it's a big thing you're going to be focusing on. But the flip side of it is being detached from where this growth leads you. Okay. And that's really hard to do. It's hard to be so focused, because this is what I'm getting, is like, this month is for you to just buckle down and be focused on growth and expansion in whatever way feels the best or most aligned to you. Deck 2, so that thing you want to learn, that area you want to get better at, that skill you want to perfect, whatever it is. This is the month to do that. Like, the stars are aligned for you. You are ready to truly dig into something and truly just go deeper with it than most people ever go. And that can lead you in so many different ways to a pay raise, a new job, switching niches, charging higher rates in your business, right? Like, it can lead to so many things, but you need to be detached this month from how exactly it's going to lead you to more abundance and what that's going to look like. If you try to say, okay, I'm going to grow. For example, I'm going to go take a class on, I'm going to finally learn a computer program. I'm going to learn how to write code. I'm going to work on that for the next several months. And I'm going to start that this month. I'm going to maybe take a class or do some studying, take an online program, something like that. I'm going to learn coding because I've been feeling drawn to do that. And I think that if I learn coding, then I'll be able to go get that job that pays more money. I'll be able to ask my boss for the raise, or be able to do this thing that can make me money. If you have this logical, laid out, step-by-step thing, it's not going to yield the amazing, massive results that are available to you that are starting this month, that the seeds are being planted for this month by your growth. The universe is saying you're about to go on. We haven't even gotten to this side of the board yet. And there's some really cool things over here, but the universe is saying there is some, you're kind of, the growth you're going to experience is meant to take you on kind of a wild ride in a good way, but it's going to be a very unpredictable wild ride to like exponential abundance. So it's available to you, but you have to be willing and consciously reminding yourself to be detached from how it's going to happen. You can, of course, have like a plan. You can, again, have the plan of, I'm going to learn some coding, and I think that doing that'll, make me a more desirable candidate for these job positions. So then I'll go interview for more jobs after I learn the coding, and then I'll complete that program, and then I'll make more money. You can have that plan, but you need to still understand that you're not married to that plan. You don't have to be like clutching that plan in like a death grip and just like, this is how the money has to come in. The universe is saying if a plan helps you stay focused and motivated to grow and learn, great. But the way that you're gonna make all this money you desire to have, like this amazing expansion that's available to you, it's like the beginning of it is this month with whatever growth you choose, right? With these two cards. But this amazing abundance that's available to you, it's not going to come in the way you think. It's not going to come in the way you think. It might look similar, but there's going to be twists and turns along the road that lead you somewhere even better than you can imagine, or in a way that's easier or more fun than you can imagine, is what the universe is saying. So the universe is just asking you, grow, focus on growing, focus on bringing everything in your life into alignment with the intention of growth, in especially your money-making or money management activities. And then be very fluid and flexible with where that leads you, right? Be open. You can have your plan, but be open to it leading to more abundance in a way you can't even really imagine right now at the onset of your this new learning or deepening journey that you're going on, right? So that's the first part of your reading deck. There's a lot for you here. It's a really deck one's energy was very just light and happy and everything's la rainbows, right? And for you, it's still very, very, very positive. It's all positive, but it's much more of like this potent, again, focused, intentional, like laser focused, powerful energy, which it feels really good. It feels empowering, right? It feels purposeful. So it's a month of purpose for you, especially around your finances and such things. So that's really exciting. I saw 1111 for you. So cool. Okay, over here. As you start learning more, right? As you start learning, deepening into whatever, and again, this could be, like I said, it could be skills like computer knowledge. It could be knowing yourself more, shifting or healing your relationship with money, like and deepening that and learning how to go deeper with that, or where you can do deeper. Like there's a million ways we can grow and learn and be focused at any time. So it's, because this is a general reading that can look different for so many of you. But as you are growing this month, whether it's in learning traditional studying, right, a skill or something like that, or it's more your own kind of inner growth and expansion, no matter what form that takes, that growth is going to directly or indirectly, most likely indirectly, lead you to heal some things in your relationship with money that you didn't even really know were broken with our Men the Flow card. You're like, and again, not necessarily broken, but we're just needing some tune-ups, some love, some attention, right? So that's going to lead you to shifting your relationship with money, or just making these little tune-ups, these little adjustments, these little nurturing patches, kind of patching things up, and little shifts in your relationship with money, or the way you view yourself in relation to money, or the way you view yourself in relationship to work, or things like that, right? You're going to start to maybe even know your worth a little bit more, is what I'm getting. So you're going to have some things shift just by growing up. Sometimes also, let's be honest, the act of growing or learning makes us feel more valuable or more worthy of more compensation and all that sort of stuff. Could be along those lines for you. For some of you, it will be. For some of you, it won't be. Because we feel like we're becoming more, right? We're expanding into more. We're learning something more. It's a new skill, a new thing that can be monetized, all that sort of stuff. So that can just, kind of help you shift some of that stuff. But truly, what you're going to find is, directly or indirectly, through your learning, you're going to start to shift or mend parts of your relationship with money, upgrade them, let's say. And as you do that, you're also going to have some sort of new gifts awakening. Most of the time when we see the Catalyst card, which is one of my favorite cards to see pop up, because it always means like new gifts emerging. And this could be very, very clearly, right, with the student card here. It could be that it's like new gifts emerge that you find out, oh, you're actually really naturally good at coding and you have a knack for it and you actually fly through this program and you're amazing and just genius with it. Or it could be that you have like a spiritual awakening while doing this, or you start to see the world differently and a different kind of skill or insight emerges or things like that. So there's a part of you, it's coming from within, right? A skill, a gift. For a lot of times when I see the Catalyst card, it's often like a spiritual gift or a spiritual awakening. But there's going to be some deeper awakening happening, right? So it's like, not only are you going to like learn and expand into more abundance as long as you're detached from how it's going to look, because the universe has some amazing plan in store for you that you can't quite see yet. Not only is that going to happen, but it's also going to be this like inner expansion and transformation of, you're going to start to see spiritual gifts awaken. It could be that the spiritual gifts help you actually, or new gifts you have help you kind of know your worth more, right? And see your worth and ask for your worth more when asking for that pay raise or that job, or raising your rates, or, asking for someone to pay you back when in the past you would have just not said anything because you didn't feel uncomfortable, right? Like, it's going to empower you in some way. That could happen. Or you might have that that you end up, learning things about yourself that kind of shift your vision, your view of yourself, especially in relationship to money, which helps you then unlock more spiritual gifts. It can go either way. It isn't necessarily always linear. These two I see happening kind of hand in hand. They're kind of intertwined with one another. Your relationship with money /work /career success, and and like a spiritual awakening, new gifts emerging of some sort, new ideas emerging. Ooh, maybe new ideas for a business as well. Those are going to kind of happen at the same time. So you have this external expansion and this internal expansion, right? Which is really cool to see. But again, there just needs to be that level of detachment and that kind of like willingness to see your own inner transformation and to embrace it and to lean into it and to sit with that. And when, things come up to be healed, to heal them if there are anything. I don't see a ton of healing for you this month. I see it's more just those little upgrades, right? And I think they're going to happen pretty naturally. So it's really cool because really what I see here, especially with this abundant expansion card, it's like the seeds that you plant in by starting to intentionally grow and learn in some way, it's going to unlock these skills and it's these new gifts, and it's going to plant these seeds for massive expansion into more abundance, right? This is like the start of a new era, a chapter for you. I said that in pile 1 in a very different way, but I get the sense this might also be a very collective thing for us, especially with some of the astrological events happening right now. A lot of old cycles coming to an end, a lot of new ones beginning, a lot of, healing past things so that we can make way for a new chapter in our lives. So that's really exciting that you're at the start of a potential like huge expansion into more abundance over the next months and even years to come is what I see here. But it needs to start with focused growth and learning. That's how you're going to kind of unleash all of this, right? So really, really cool. Let's bring in some more cards for you. I want to see if there's any other guidance around any of this or any other messages coming through for you around money for career this month. We have Pixie Helpers and Green Aventurine, which Green Aventurine is one of my favorite stones. Not all wanderers are lost. Clearing the way. What did I say about starting anew? Clearing things up over here, right? Luck, opportunity. Opens up more opportunities, right? So we have, I think it's just some nice confirmation. Again, even the not all wanderers are lost. Truly, like, the surrender, right? That allowing yourself to not know exactly where, whatever growth you want to pursue in whatever way feels right to you, feels exciting, feels aligned. That just, this surrender is just like, just allow it to take you where it's going to take you, right? Enjoy learning, enjoy the growth process, the learning process, enjoy witnessing yourself intentionally becoming an even more fully and authentically expressed version of yourself, a version of yourself that's living up to your potential. That's really what this month is for you. Deck 2 is like, it's potential. It's like growing into your potential, right? Here we have Mushroom Magic, which is communication, exploring new states of consciousness, untapped potential. I feel like maybe these placements should have been switched, but this is we have communication. I think, again, you'll be able to better communicate your worth, right, as you have your gifts and your growth unlock and all of that. But what I'm getting more is, this isn't necessarily communication with others. I'm getting better communication with, with your own gifts, right? Even when we see, because the mushrooms here, right? It's like their fungal, mycelium network and how they're talking to one another, all within, all unseen, underground, right? And so that's a lot of what I see here with these gifts for you. And I'm getting this strong, I'm getting kind of goosebumps. Whoo, you're going to start experiencing oh my gosh, potential. I didn't even see it. Untapped potential. That's on the card. Didn't I just say this is a month of growing into your potential, your untapped potential? Oh my gosh, deck 2. All right. That's some beautiful confirmation. Wow. Okay. I'm getting goosebumps though, looking at exploring new states of consciousness. Again, these could be spiritual gifts awakening with our catalyst card over here that I was talking about. But I think also just you'll find those different levels of inner knowing, different levels of maybe even knowing your higher self or, your spiritual side even better and even more deeply. And that's going to allow you to bring forth new gifts or just be able to expand into more abundance or even just surrender more. Honestly, I get that the more that you open up communication with as you grow, it's all of this stems from your own growth, which, oh my gosh, how perfect. Mushrooms, stems, growth, right? All of this stems from your own growth. As you start to grow this month and intentionally lean into growth and embodying that and embracing that, you're going to start to be able to tap into these new kind of states of being within yourself. New states of consciousness, right? But where you feel more of this positive detachment from things. It's not a detachment in terms of you're kind of zoning out or you're just trying to dissociate or anything like that. It's more that you're going to be able to kind of pull back from the things that were maybe draining you before or your energy, the things that or maybe kind of almost like a fungal growth on you, metaphorically speaking, you're going to be able to start to clear a lot of that very naturally because as you grow, you're going to have so much outward but inner expansion that's going to allow you to feel so much more centered and at home in yourself and being yourself. And again, knowing your worth more, that you're going to be able to be so incredibly surrendered, because you're no matter what, I've got this. Yeah. And of course we have go with the flow. There's our mend the flow card here. This is incredible. Synchronicities. Divine Mother. We have detach. Oh my gosh. Detachment. All right. We are tapped in deck 2. This is amazing alignment. So again, go with the flow. Divine surrender. Mend the flow, right? Right here in the middle of these two. Internally and externally. How can you be going with the flow more this month, right? Oh my goodness. I want to get any more guidance that the universe has for you. We have Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Whatever you do, whatever you learn or in whatever way you grow, make sure that it allows you to with this card, it's really like be an art, right? Even if what you're doing, even if it's computer programming, go back to our example of computer programming, learning coding. How can you be creative with that? How can you allow whatever you learn to unleash more creativity or more self-expression, right? And it might just be that in learning what you want to do, you feel more expressed. And I think I said that earlier in this reading. It's like more fully expressed version of yourself. Whatever is coming through for you, whatever you want to grow into, whatever you are being called to expand into this month in terms of learning skills that you can apply to your work or can be monetized, or doing any inner work or energetic work that allows you to feel like that helps you increase your how you show up in your business or amplify your results or in your professional life or handle your money, right? Like whatever way you feel called to do that, the more that you allow it to be an act of creativity, the more it's just going to be like a bridge between your higher self and yourself. You're going to be just channeling so much wisdom from your higher self from other realms, honestly, if that's something that appeals to you. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you this month have the gift of channeling awaken within you. Oh my God, and we have an eclipse this month. Pretty sure my channeling, when I realized what I was doing with my channeling, it was right after an eclipse. A lot of you are waking up a lot of gifts this month. Not all of you necessarily will channels or will resonate with that, but maybe you find like yourself all of a sudden pulled towards more creative endeavors, more artistic endeavors. But even if not, just looking at how can you use whatever you're growing towards intentionally, how can you allow that to act as a creative outlet for you, right? And see where that takes you. Again, that's going to unlock gifts. It's going to take you to opportunities for money that you wouldn't have dreamed of before. The potential promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. Nice little confirmation from the universe just to tell you that to keep going, to keep the learning. That sometimes it can feel like when we're learning something or intentionally growing, it can feel like we are in a phase of like just kind of treading water because we need to learn more before we can make the money or before we can apply for the job or whatever. But the universe is just reminding you, because look what we already talked about. As you learn, the act of learning is what is going to activate more abundance in your life this month and set the stage for wild, massive abundance coming up for you, deck 2. So keep going with it. And again, enjoy the act of learning. Enjoy the process of it and of becoming all that you want to become. Release expectations. I feel like at this point, the universe is just giving us confirmation upon confirmation, and receive all things, right? To just, detach, go with the flow. Be surrendered in how things come to you, right? And of course, like you'll just be able to open up to receive so much this month. There's just so much coming to you, and it's just the beginning of it. I get the sense that many of you this month will see, like bumps in income and opportunities for more money directly this month. But this month for you of April, deck 2 is more about setting yourself up through this growth, right? Like to then springboard into more wealth later on, like this year and in the coming years to come, right? Like it's just, you're kind of like just preparing to go further and faster than ever before. So there's so much in store for you, and it's not to say that this won't be a month of increase for some of you in your finances, because like I said, there's growth, but it's more going to be that this is just like you start closing out old cycles, beginning new ones, and starting this new era, this new chapter of steady growth into more abundance, right? And into more abundance through living your full potential, which means a lot of fulfillment on the path to abundance, which is beautiful. All right, deck number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it, how it resonated, or what you're manifesting this coming month. I always love getting to read as many of your comments as I possibly can, and my team looks at them as well so that we have ideas and inspiration and motivation for future readings. They truly mean so much to me. So if you feel called to comment, please do so below. Let me know how you enjoyed the video. You are also welcome, if you're not already, to subscribe to this channel for future card readings for abundance. And of course, if you want to pre-order your own copy of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, the link for that is also in the description and below this video in the pinned comment. And if you are ready to truly tap into and harness your power to manifest money, come join me inside the Wealth Vibe membership. It is an absolute steal of a price. We have an amazing community of like-minded, high-vibe people in there, tons of resources to support your spiritually aligned wealth journey, and our Quantum Leaping for Abundance Challenge is starting April 1st in there, and I would love to have you join in. So the link for the Wealth Vibe is also in the description and pinned comment below. So with all of that being said, I am wishing you massive prosperity and abundance in April, and just massive growth really is what I am wishing you, deck 2. And I will see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 3. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. So we're going to just dive right in. And we're going to start shuffling. We're going to see, I want to see what to expect with money, with career, with finances, with success this month for deck number 3. I especially want to know what money blessings we have in store. How many cards do we have here? 3 and 4. All right, we're just going with this that you had a whole bunch of. Ouch. We're gonna go with these. All right. So I want to see what blessings or opportunities are coming your way this month around money. We'll see what comes up. Obsidian and Hellbore, Shadow Mirror, Deep Healing, Understanding, Seer, in quotes. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of the cards down because I want to know. We have an Angelite and Lemon Balm, Integrating Energies, Awakening, Transitioning. Oh my goodness. We have, I think we're going to have to do... We're going to have to put some, I was going to do my normal spread, but we have an extra card. We have Rose Quartz and Altar, Alchemy of Love, Peace Offering, Compassion, Venus Energy. We have Priscilla and Bluestone Pilgrimage. This card comes up every time I do a reading with this deck for you all. Sacred Sites, Gridwork, Dragon Energy. We have Amethyst and Passion Flower, Violet Flame, Transmuting, Breaking Addictions, Nervous System. Candle Quartz and Bleeding Heart. Show yourself vulnerability, self-worth, feminine healing. There's a really clear kind of path for you here this month, deck 3. So this month for you is, and it's interesting because every reading we've done so far, this is the 3rd out of 4 in this video. There's been this clear delineation of like leaving behind old patterns and struggles and kind of closing out old wounds that need to be healed, and closing out that cycle of healing, and then moving into a new chapter, right? And it's like the big theme that I'm seeing collectively for all of us in April is the, the collective moving into a new chapter, right? Closing out the old chapter, moving into a new one, which also makes sense with all of the astrological events happening this month. So really, what I see for you in particular, deck 3, is really interesting. Also, by the way, I just have to say, your Violet Flame card, like, does this not look exactly like the shape of all the crystals I chose today? That was for our deck 2. So if you feel called to watch deck 2, if you were having trouble deciding between the two, might be a sign to go check that out. Anyways, what I'm seeing specifically for you, deck 3, is that, so what you're leaving behind, what you're going to be experiencing, I'd say the first week or so, maybe 2 weeks, but that'd be at the most for you. But for many of you, it'll just be the first few days or weeks, like week of April, is going to be a kind of revisiting, and it might almost feel like deja vu or like Groundhog's Day, but you're going to have either something come up or just feel called to kind of revisit an old money pattern, old money wound, story, block, something like that. There's going to be something I get for most of you. It'll be something that happens, an event. Could be a big thing. I think for a lot of you, it's going to be a really small thing, but it's going to be something that kind of maybe triggers you in a way or just grabs your attention. And I'm getting presented like the image of a lot of you getting very frustrated with it, of like, again, or like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Like, it could be an unexpected expense. It could be losing a job. It could be something bigger like that. But it also could just be something little, like you got overcharged $3 or something like that on your credit card. And you're like, oh my God, now I have to call that company and I have to sort it out and I have to spend my time, and why me, right? Like, and you get all worked up about it. Or just feel like the world's unjust, right? Like, you'll notice something happens. Could be big, could be small, because this is a general reading. So For some of you, it'll be big. For some of you, it'll be small. But it's going to be something that just brings up or dredges up an old money wound or old money story, something uncomfortable. And it's going to come up, and the good news is it's coming up for the last time, because this is the time when you're now ready to truly heal it, and it's asking to be healed. The reason that it comes up, no, the universe wants you to know the reason that whatever happens that feels inconvenient or triggering or uncomfortable around money in the next few days or week is happening to show you this old pattern that's now ready to be released, that you've honestly probably done a lot of releasing around, whether consciously or unconsciously, for the last several months, especially the last several weeks, right? But like you've been kind of reliving the same cycle or habit or pattern, or this thing keeps happening or not happening in your life around money or your career. And this is kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back in the best sort of way. Like, this is the time that you look at this and you don't let it own you. You don't let it ruin you. You don't let it mess with your energy. Instead, you finally kind of conquer it, is what I'm getting. Because we have a lot of this breaking addictions, transmuting, nervous system, deep healing, understanding, right? Vulnerability, self-worth, feminine healing. Like, you're finally going to be able to more clearly than ever before see this old pattern or this old cycle that you've been stuck in for maybe the last several years, is what I'm seeing, especially when it comes to your money or your career or both. You're going to finally start to see some of the deeper underlying patterns, the deeper ways that maybe you've kept yourself stuck, or just ways you've kind of had things that needed to be healed that are now you finally feel like you have the tools or are ready to finally heal those things, right? But you're going to start to understand why you've been in kind of this cycle that you've been in around money for the last several years. And it's going to finally start to make sense, and you're finally going to be, this is like the last push. It's like you're overcoming it. Deck 3. This can feel heavy. Like, this energy can feel heavy, and when you're going through it, it might not feel great. But the universe wants you to know, because you're listening to this, it's using me as this mouthpiece to be like, this is happening and it's not feeling good, actually, like, know that this is the last time you have to deal with this, as long as you are willing to actually look at it, because it's finally being presented in a way, and you're finally ready to see it in a way that you can actually heal it, actually transmute it, actually do that deep healing, actually understand and see the bigger picture and see why all of this had to happen. It's finally coming. This cycle that you've been in is finally coming to an end. This less than desirable situation you've been in, or pattern you've been around, big or small, it's finally coming to an end. And that's what's been keeping you at your current level of abundance, or feeling or experiencing money in a certain way for a long time now, or keeping you from that success you desire. So the universe is saying, my dog just let out like the biggest sigh as I said that. Like, it's like, what a relief, right? So it's going to feel like a relief to you once you're through it. But the universe wants you to know, as you're going through it, keep these words in mind. You can even bookmark this point in the video if you want, because the universe wants to reassure you, like, this is happening for you in a way. As much as it might not feel good, it is happening for you. And this is the last time you're going to have to deal with this, as long as you're willing to just to look at it and not ignore it, not sweep it under the rug or push it to the side or stick your head in the sand around it. As long as you're actually willing to look at, wow, why does this upset me so much? Or wow, why do I feel like this always happens to me? What am I holding on to? Or what story do I have that I'm ready to let go of? It's like, as long as you're willing to look at that sort of stuff, those are good journaling prompts too. When you find yourself in this situation in the next few days or week here, where there is some past pattern or wound around money repeating or reemerging, right? And really just nagging at you, and you're just like, no, thank you. I hate this. I'm so done with this. Like, you've reached a breaking point in the best possible way. You're no longer available for this old pattern or this old wound to stay as it is. And so, the universe is saying, just keep that in mind, because it might feel a little bit like a struggle I'm just getting for a couple days while you're moving through it. And it's not even like the most negative thing. You'll just be like, this again. But as you're moving through it, if you can keep in mind what I've just said here, and this message that the universe has just delivered for these cards on this side of the board, then this is the last time you'll close out this cycle. You'll close out this story, this wound, you'll transmute it and move into your next chapter, which is what we have over here, right? So your next chapter is very, very, very exciting, right? The next chapter that you're kind of stepping into starting this month, that's going to kick off, I'm seeing a decade-long cycle for you.
Wow. Deck 3. I don't always get that big of a specific number, but I'm getting like a decade-long cycle or more. For some of you, it'll be up to like, okay, I'm getting like 7 to 10 years for most of you, 10 years for most of you. It could be up to 17 years for most of you that this is kicking off, that this is happening. But what's going to happen over the coming years and what's going to really start to take root and start this month is that, because we have here, right, we have our integrating energies. As you've been, you go through this, you kind of clear this cycle for once and for all. We have our transmutation, we have transitioning. You're going to move into this new energy where things in every card, look at, like, we have the peaks of the mountains. We have this triangle back here. We have these tall, like, peaks of these stones, tall trees. Like, there's height. You're reaching new heights. You're transitioning into a clearer perspective, a clearer viewpoint around money, around your career especially, is what I'm getting. Anything you do to make or manage your money, that you're going to have such a different perspective on it. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air to you, first of all. You're also going to find that it feels like the next about 10 years for most of you is going to be like a pilgrimage of sorts for you. Deck 3, there's going to be like this pilgrimage of sorts. You could literally be, I don't know that most people will be going on a 10-year trip, but I could see a lot of you going on really significant trips that change the kind of trajectory of your life. So things that are more like spiritual trips, spiritual awakenings, retreats, things like that, but also just things where you go somewhere and it's a chance encounter that you meet someone that changes your life forever. It's all in a really, for the most part, very positive ways is what I'm seeing here. I can see a lot of you meeting even like you're like a life partner or someone that you go into business with, a business partner, things like that. That's there potentially, but really I see that it's not so much an external pilgrimage or, travel. It's more of an inner travel, right? Like I said, some of you will have these significant, of course, over 10 years, right? Statistically, some of you are going to have some really profound physical trips, places, right? But for all of you, right, reading that, hearing this pile, it's like this is such a pivotal month for you where you are kicking off this huge transformation. As this chapter comes to an end and this one begins, it's this new chapter of self-discovery, of awakening to yourself and awakening to your full power. And also because we have our dragon energy here too, like just there's in our mountains, right? Like there's, and again, triangles, like the shape is this the strongest shape too. It's like there's so much power, so much strength that you're stepping into around money, but especially again, career, success, like so much strength. I get that you're building a stronger foundation from which you are going to rise to these amazing heights. And we have the dragon, right? Can fly bird. There's just so much. It's like you're preparing to climb a mountain, but it's like it's a mountain you want to climb. It's not like, oh, it's the slog of climbing a mountain. You're going to start to awaken to new desires, new opportunities, to new, really a lot, most are new things in your career success, new careers, new trajectories, new tracks to get on, new goals that you want to aim for. But I get the sense a lot of you are going to, especially even this month, start to get the inklings of almost what your life's work is. Like, what are you here to do in terms of like, what impact are you here to make? What is your big, like, your dream job that just, it fulfills you on a soul level? I see a lot of you getting more and more into nonprofit work or to work that gives back, philanthropy as well, potentially. But for so many people, I see you taking on more of your soul's work in your actual work. And again, this could be just integrating into what you're already doing, having a bigger vision for the job or the business you already have. Or it could be kind of seeing how you're like, oh, wow, I feel like I'm starting to realize what my actual dream job is or what work really means something to me. I get the sense you're going to be turning into, it makes me feel so like emotional in the best way because you are going to be doing work that truly matters and that you feel truly matters in the coming years. And you might already be doing some of that now, but you're going to be seeing it from a whole new perspective. You're going to be seeing a bigger impact you could be having. You're going to be doing work and getting compensated. You're starting, like, and let's be clear, the inklings of it, the ideas of it are going to come later this month as you close out this old cycle around money. You're going to open up a new cycle where you start to actually be doing things that you're being compensated in some way for doing work that truly matters to you and that you believe truly matters to the world. And that makes a huge difference in how we work and how we flow with money. And when you do that, it's going to open up a lot more abundance to you, right? But I see a lot of that happening for you. This is really, really interesting. We're going to get some more cards for you to see. I want to know more about what is this work you're going to be doing. It's going to be different for everyone because this is a general reading. So I can't, we won't know exactly what you're going to be doing, but of course, I'm just looking at these cards that are coming up and laughing to myself because they are just perfect. Yeah, again, I don't have a specific, we might get one in a moment. There might be something that comes through. We have after the rain, right? Like silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. Again, you're coming out of the cycle. Silver, relief, hope. The cycle's over, it's over, right? We're moving on. You're moving into an era of like this new era, this morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. You're moving into this era of the mystic rose, right? Of compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. So again, what I said, and as I'm saying this coming through stronger is nonprofit work, volunteer work. But when I say those things, volunteer, nonprofit, especially volunteer, but nonprofit is the one that really sticks out. We often think when we're doing work that's more philanthropic, work that's more selfless, work that does more good in the world, that we often will not be well compensated for it. And the universe is saying there's a way that you're going to find as you close out this cycle and the lessons you've learned from this old cycle, and you apply them to this new era, this new chapter that you're stepping into, of finally starting to realize on a deeper level than ever before, or maybe for the first time in your life, what you're really here doing, what work truly matters to you, and what legacy you want to leave in the world and what impact you want to have. And you're going to start to move toward it and be called toward it and go on this about 10-year-long journey of bringing that to fruition, of making a big impact in the world. And it doesn't mean you have to wait 10 years to make a big impact or make a lot of money. It means that this is a cycle that's going to play out for you for like a decade if you so choose, right? On average, for most of you. So this is a big point in your journey, in your career, but also in your life personally. But at the core of what you're doing, you're going to find something with this new perspective, right? This month, you're going to start to see how you can make a big difference and still be massively compensated, and how actually you being compensated well, like extremely well, for the important work you're already doing or that you want to do, that's going to help so many people or be such a benefit to the world, to humanity. You're going to see how there's a way that you get to be paid for that more than you ever thought possible, right? So that's what you're starting to kind of get inklings of this month as you move into this new chapter. And that's really beautiful. You truly are. You have a big heart. Deck 3, you're here to do big things. You're here to help people. You're here to help make a difference. Maybe not even people. I see for a lot of you animals as well. Not all of you, but for some of you it's animals. You're here to help. It's not the only thing you're here to do, but you are here to help in your own unique way with your unique gifts. And you're going to start, it's all coalescing this month. You're starting to understand, you have clarity, right? Clarity. You're starting to understand how everything you went through and you learned in this last chapter of life is now going to actually help you help so many people, that leave such a profound impact and positive legacy in the world. And it's like, wow, is all I can say. Deck 3. I am honored to read for you. I'm honored to, in this way, get to know you, because you're going to be doing big, big things, and the world needs them now more than ever. Yeah. All right, I'm putting this top card for you. Gather your nuts. Yeah, do the little things that you need to do to close out this cycle, right? But also, you're just kind of buckle up. Buckle up, because what's coming next is maybe something bigger than you thought you could take on, of course. Stand tall. What did I say about height? The tall trees, You're here to do big things, and you are going to have a big vision that you're going to either kind of expand on this month or just straight up download this month from the universe, and it's going to kind of blow your mind for what your life's work is, what you're here to do, right? What this next chapter of your life really is all about, and you're the big why behind it all. But the universe is saying, buckle up, because you're going to be embarking on something that maybe even feels at times too big for you, right? You're going to be embarking on something, this side of the board, this new chapter, this new vision you have for giving back and you being massively compensated, which allows you to give back more and help more and help more. The vision you have that as it downloads this month for you, later this month, I see it in the last 2 to 3 weeks of the month, right after you've really started to close out this chapter. It might overwhelm you at first. The universe is like, don't be overwhelmed. This is a beautiful vision, and as long as you see the value in it, it is worth pursuing. The universe says, don't be afraid, you can handle this. Even if you don't know how yet, even if you're still becoming all of who you need to be to truly help the world, which is a tall order, right? Even though you're still in process of becoming that version of you, even though you've just closed out the cycle and you're not sure how you're going to get to that peak, know that you can get there, right? And just kind of start moving toward it, but don't, this isn't about making this happen overnight. Like we said, this is I think why the universe gave me that 10 years is a 10-year cycle. Is it might not literally be 10 years, but it's a long cycle for you. It's gonna be a marathon, not a sprint, right? So the universe is saying there's no rush. There's nothing you have to particularly do this month other than kind of pay attention to these older cycles you need to close out, right? These old money stories. You're naturally going to start to know more of why are you here? What's your life's purpose? What's your life's work, especially when it comes to money and to leaving an impact, a lasting positive impact on the world, right? So you're going to get to know more of that this month. And this download's going to come, and I get for a lot of you, it's going to come all at once. It might come in meditation or on some sort of sacred site as well, right? But it's for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you will just be the inklings, right? This is the beginnings of an idea. For a lot of you, I get who are watching this download of what this big vision you have that you're like, this is my life's work. I just saw 2002 for you. Some nice mirror angel numbers. We have our mirror here happening. What I'm getting is that it's, for some of you, it'll download all at once in a very almost spiritual experience. Or it'll just hit you like a ton of bricks, and it might kind of freak you out or overwhelm you, or you might be tempted to just dismiss it because you're like, that's a wild dream. I could never do that. Yes, you could. The universe is saying, and you're meant to, and you're here to. And because you can dream it and it matters to you, it's for you. If you choose it, right? You have free will. You can choose not to pursue that vision. But the abundance you want, the fulfillment you want, is on the other side of that. Is through it, actually. It's on the way to it. All right, we're going to pull on the last cards, and last guidance from our Wealthy Woman Oracle deck. Yeah, we have Breath of Abundance. I'm getting, again, it'll be kind of a relief, like I said with my dog's side, when we had this, you're releasing these old patterns. But it's also going to feel like you're going to have the need to be kind of still and integrate after you've done this healing and cycle in order for this download to come in, right? And again, you don't have to force this download of what's coming next in your life, but you do have to give space for it to drop in, right? So just making space for that. Oh my gosh, I have the adventurer card. This is super, you're going on an adventure. What did I say? I was climbing mountains and journeying maybe to sacred places in, spiritually or physically, right? You're going on an adventure. Deck 3, your adventure starts this month of April. This is where the adventure begins. You're going on an adventure into more wealth, definitely, as you pursue this life's work. Ooh, there's a message coming through that, but in one moment I'm going to finish this thought. But you're also going on an inner adventure. You're going on an adventure of building something or a movement or something that's going to help the world or impact the world in a positive way that you didn't think you'd be the one doing it. And you have no idea maybe how to even get there from where you are now. Maybe you do, but for a lot of you don't. And it's going to be an adventure of figuring it out, right? So the universe is saying, the interesting thing that came through is the universe is saying, you don't need to know all the steps yet. You don't need to know the whole path. You just need to take that first step. And that first step is just allowing yourself to say, what if I am the one who brings this big vision to life? What if I am the one who does this? And that's the start of your adventure. That's beginning this month, this new big, beautiful adventure of your life that holds a lot of the abundance you desire. And last we have our Goddess card. The Goddess card is all about receiving. So as the universe is saying, as you get whatever download this is, or deepen your vision or your understanding of this big life's purpose, your life's work, this big movement you want to create to help others, what you're going to find is, again, you will feel like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, and who am I to do this? The universe says, you are the one to do this because you have this idea and because it means something to you. That is the proof you need that this is for you. I've given this to you because you're ready, because you've learned things from your last chapter or chapters of life to prepare you for this next chapter. So already you are who you need to be. You are the person for this task, for this divine, beautiful mission. But also, you're not going to do it alone. Allow others to help you. Okay, so even from the onset, from the start of this adventure, because again, this is just the start of this big, beautiful adventure going on, the universe is saying, allow others in and allow others to help you. The goddess in the Wealthy Woman Oracle, she receives. She receives with ease and with grace, and she knows that when she allows others to give to her or to help her or to give her gifts or money or abundance, when she allows that gracefully, she's allowing others their own joy in giving to her. So just know that it might feel at times like you're like, this is my vision, and so no one else really cares. Maybe if I hire other people to help me or let other people help me, it's just a job for them, or they're doing it. I said 24, right? So I feel like this is a story you might tell yourself already, or you'll be tempted to tell yourself. It's like, people don't really want to help me. No one cares about this vision as much as I do. You were just saying, don't let those stories take root from the beginning of this journey, right? Like, from the beginning, know that the vision you have, the big thing you want to do, the big, beautiful impact you want to leave the world and be compensated for, right? But what you're here to do and to be compensated for, it doesn't matter just you. It truly matters to so many, and other people want to help you. And so when people want to help you, let them, as long as it feels aligned, right? Use your discretion. But if someone wants to help you, allow them. Do not let stories take root in your mind of, this is just a paycheck to them, right? If you're hiring people to help you with it. Or, my boss doesn't really care. They just want me to get the work done, so they're just trying to help to get the work done faster. But I really care about this project I'm working on, or this client I'm trying to land for us to work with over the next several years, because it's going to make this huge difference in the world, whatever it is. Don't assume the worst in people. Assume that people actually do want to help you, and watch how that allows more people to come in and help you, because you're not meant to do this. Is a big thing. You're not meant to do it alone. Deck 3. And you will be supported. The right people will come in to help you. So this felt like a massive reading. I meant to be like, oh, here's our April predictions for you. This is massive for you, Deck 3. You're here to do big, important things, and this is the start of that next way of doing big, important things. I get the sense you've been actually helping people for quite some time now. It could have been professionally, but I get that it's more, in some ways, just, that's just part of who you are, and you like to help people, but this month that goes to a deeper level, and a level that allows you to be compensated for bringing one of your biggest skills. I get Deck 3 is helping others, and this is the month where you start to see how much that's needed, how valuable that is, in a way that you could be compensated for that in a way that feels so good to you, so that you can continue to help more and more people in alignment with this big vision you have. So, oh my goodness, Deck 3. This is your reading for April and beyond, apparently. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it, how this reading resonated, or what you're manifesting this coming month. Your comments really do mean so much to me. I try to read as many of them as I can. Even if I can't respond to all of them, I do try to look at them all. So thank you so much for commenting. They give me inspiration for future videos and motivation to keep going and making more of these videos for you all. So if you feel called to comment, please absolutely do. I so appreciate it. You are also welcome, if you are not already, to subscribe to this channel for future card readings for abundance. And of course, if you want to pre-order your own copy of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck,
The link for that is in the description and the pinned comment below this video. And if you're ready to truly tap into and harness your power to manifest money, then come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership. It is an absolute steal of a price. We have an amazing community of like-minded, high-vibe people in there, tons of resources to support your spiritually aligned wealth journey, and we also have our Quantum Leap for Abundance Challenge starting April 1st in there. And I would love to get to quantum leap into more abundance with you and to hear what this big vision is as it comes in this month for you. So I'm so excited for you. The link for the Wealth Web membership is also in the description and pinned comment below. So with all of that being said, I'm wishing you massive prosperity and abundance and just clarity as you move forward on this new adventure, as you start this adventure in April, deck 3. So with that being said, I will wish you goodbye now, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 4. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. So we're going to dive right in. We'll move your crystal away, and we're just going to start shuffling. We're going to see, I want to see just in general what to expect this month for you, but especially what money blessings or opportunities are coming your way this month for deck 4. Let's see. Deck 4's kind of predictions for April. I want at least 2 more cards for you. Let's see if anyone wants to pop out. Getting some uncertainty. Not around your finances, but from within you. Oh, well, that makes sense. Deck 4. Are you right now in a kind of void state, in a place of not really knowing where you're going or what you want to do, especially when it comes to your career or what you should do around money? Maybe you've been feeling stuck or stagnant, or like kind of like everything you're doing around money isn't quite working how you want it to, or you just feel like you're like, how am I ever going to get to where I want to be? So, okay, I'm just going to put the rest of these cards down because you're feeling that weight. I'm getting, and I don't always say this, but I'm getting, if that's not how you're feeling, then go pick a different card for this reading. I don't always say that. Sometimes as we go into the readings, the messages start to click more, but I'm getting a very clear sign right now from my guides that if you've selected deck 4 and you don't feel like you're in any sort of void state or any state of being stuck or uncertain in any way around your career, or especially around like money, then this reading is maybe not for you. If you really feel it is and you have a strong pull, you can keep watching and maybe there's something here for you. But if you don't feel like you resonate with that and this was your first pick, the universe is saying go back and maybe pick again, right? Especially if you were uncertain, if you had more uncertainty in picking this stuff, right? So just something coming up. Don't always say that, but that guidance is there and strong today. Okay, so what I'm seeing for you, you're in this state, this void state, this state of not quite knowing, of feeling stuck, of feeling maybe even a little frustrated or a little directionless around your career, maybe what your next step is, maybe what you should be doing next, or what's going to actually lead to the money you want. I get the sense that you've tried a lot of things. You might have also just come to the end of some sort of chapter. This is kind of the collective theme I've been picking up on through all of the readings in this video for April, is that we're all kind of collectively, and especially with all of the astrological things happening, makes a lot of sense, but we're all kind of collectively closing out some old cycles and beginning new ones. And you might be in a place where you're like, I've already closed out that old cycle, and I've been in this kind of void state, this kind of in between for a while now, or even for just a little bit of time, but I'm over it. I don't want to be here. I'm not enjoying being in the void. I'm not enjoying not knowing what I'm doing next, what I should be doing next. I feel directionless. You could be like, I don't know what kind of job to be looking for, or I don't know what to do next in my business. Nothing excites me. I'm getting for a lot of you, there isn't a lot of excitement around things, or you're just not sure what to do next. So I get the sense that that's where a lot of you are who are watching this, or you've been there for a while, or maybe just a little bit, but you've closed out some old cycles. I get the sense that you've done what I'm getting the guidance of is that you did, especially here, like you've moved through a lot somewhat recently. You did a lot of healing. I could also say physical healing for a lot of you. You might have healed a health condition or come a long way in some sort of health condition. And now you're kind of like finding your bearings again. You're like, wow, that really changed me. Or it could be something more internal, like internal awakenings and growth. But there's something you moved through
recently in the last several months, maybe years, but really like kind of came to an end in this last month or so. And it changed you. You came out the other end of whatever you went through, whatever this healing was around. You came out the other end of it where you are now like a different person. You maybe don't fully know who you are right now, and especially how that plays out into what you're doing in your business or what kind of job you actually want to be in, because maybe your current one doesn't feel that great, or you're looking for a job, or you're going to be soon if you're a student and you're leaving school soon and you're like, I just don't even know what I want anymore. I thought I knew at one point and I don't. And the universe is saying, like you feel almost planted here, almost stuck in this stuck state, in this uncertain place, in this holding pattern. And so the universe is saying that this month you move out of that, which is great. And what you're moving into is really quite beautiful. So I want to preface, with that and kind of lead with that. But there's going to be kind of a period this month for you where there's basically, I'm just going to say what the universe wants me to say, not beat around the bush. You're going to have to come to terms with the void state first before you can move through it. Like the only way out of the void state that you're currently in. And when I say void state, again, it's that feeling stagnant, feeling like you are stuck, feeling like you're uncertain of who you are, or where you're going, or what you want to do for your career, or to call in money, or what you should be doing or need to do next to make more money, or to get to where you want around money, all that sort of stuff. There's going to be like kind of this, you kind of need to have almost a come to Jesus moment, right? Like there needs to be this moment of, wow, that's interesting as I said that, because I don't say come to Jesus a lot, right? Like that's not, but that's interesting. Maybe I'm getting quite literally like the energy of Jesus, right? The Christ consciousness energy could be something to play with if that means something to you, or just, connecting with Jesus if that calls to you, right? I personally have only a handful of times really felt the call to connect with Jesus personally, like in the energy of Jesus, that love energy, right? In that way. But that's something that might be calling to some of you, that might help you get through this void state. And I'm not saying this in terms of Christianity, though. If that applies to you, great. Take that in that direction. It's actually more of the, like I said, the Christ consciousness, the energy of love, pure love for others, right? And pure love for life, right? Of Jesus, right? So something to think about, because that's very interesting that came out of my mouth, but I don't question what I'm channeling. But there's going to be this moment, whether you want to call it a come to Jesus moment or not, deck 4. And I just saw 555 for you, so this is some really lovely confirmation that you're going to, in order to move through this void state, which is available to you this month, and you're moving toward that place where this void state is coming to an end that month. But in order for that to happen, you have to be okay with being in the void state. It's a catch-22. You have to embrace this void state. You have to embrace the stagnation, embrace being exactly where you are. Plant yourself here, right? Breathe into it. Be in this void state and know that this void is fertile. It's like, it's a breeding ground for inspiration, ideas. Those things haven't come to the surface yet, but they're there and they're going to be taking root. This is the place that they're born from. This not knowing, this in between, this feeling stuck, stagnant where you are. Nothing's wrong. The universe is saying nothing is wrong with being there. I almost feel like I have to bring my voice down a little bit to just talk to you like this. Like there's nothing wrong with being where you are. Deck 4. You're not wrong for not knowing what you want to do next to make money, or what you should be doing, or feeling like you're stuck. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just where you need to be because you've just closed out some old cycle, some old chapter. And it's time for you to be reborn almost. To do that, you need to be able to be, in order to become something, you have to start almost as nothing, if that makes sense. It's not that you are nothing. It means that, every big tree was once like a small little seed. So right now, what you're becoming, you're in the pre-stages of it. And you'll start to become it. This month you'll start to have the seeds sprout. Things will start to click. Things will start to make sense, right? We're going to get into what I'm seeing here, but I'm seeing that at least by about partway through the month, about roughly halfway through the month, might be right around the eclipse, which is a little bit earlier than halfway. that's about the time where you're going to kind of be naturally drawn to just say, fine, if I'm just stuck forever, then I'm stuck forever. I'm just going to be here and I'm just going to be where I am and be grateful for where I am and what I have right now. And I'm just going to be here and I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to force myself to figure out how to get to more money or get to that next level. And it's in your surrender, in your acceptance of, your surrender to and acceptance of being exactly where you are right now and not making yourself wrong for it or telling a story about it like this, because I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, that's a problem. It's not, right? You were saying it's not a problem. It's where you're meant to be so that you can open up to so much more, right? So the first part of this month is going to be about coming to terms with or peace with where you are right now. And if you feel like you're already there, you're already at peace with being where you are right now and not feeling like you're moving toward what you want, towards the abundance or success you desire, that's okay. Like that, great. You're going to go deeper with it. Again, I'm getting more and more strong, like right around the time of the eclipse, right? After that, things start to happen and they happen fast for you this month. Deck 4. But again, it's just, you were saying, don't fight it. Don't fight where you are. Be where you are, and then you can quickly be somewhere else. If you fight and deny where you are right now and tell stories around it and make it wrong, you will stay there longer than you need to. If instead you just embrace it and just be okay with it and not make it mean anything about where you are or where you're going or what's possible for you, then you're going to move through it so much faster. Because in that acceptance, new ideas bubble up to the surface faster, right? So, once you've kind of accepted where you are, you'll start to see a lot of new opportunities come in and come in fast. Like I said, you're going to start to see, you'll have people inviting you to things. You might have people offering you jobs or people reaching out to work with you or to inquire about your services. And this card here, open, it says, say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. The universe is saying, just throw yourself into whatever comes your way that feels exciting to you, that feels good to you, that feels like something new. And it's really this concept of take messy action. So the universe is saying, take messy action this month, especially once, let's be clear, only once you have become okay with being where you are, then start taking messy action. Start when things come to you and they excite you, or you have an idea that excites you. It's like, just start taking action on it. It doesn't mean taking reckless action. It means taking messy. It means start jumping into things, not knowing how they're going to turn out. You can, of course, use your discernment, due diligence, right? Like, don't just do things completely irresponsibly in your life, but say yes to things that maybe you would say no to in the past because you wouldn't know how they turn out or what the journey is going to look like. Like, embrace the unknown. That's a lot of what you're doing this month in a lot of ways, is embracing the unknown. So embrace the unknown. Say yes to anything that excites you as much as you can, as much as it makes sense to for you, not logically, but like alignment wise, right? Use your discernment. But say yes to as much as you can. Experience life without agenda of trying to get somewhere, and watch how that's going to open you up, and you're going to learn very quickly what you want and what you don't want. And then you'll just magically be out of that void state. Because it might be that someone reaches out to you and says, I want to work with you, or I want to hire you, and or I have this job for you, and you take it and you're like, I have no idea if I'm going to like this or not, but it kind of interests me, or I need a job or something, so I'm just going to do it. And you do it, and you actually, maybe you're like, whoa, I'm way in over my head, and you have to learn a lot really fast, but now you've learned something really fast. Or maybe you hate the job and you leave it after a week or two, but you're like, you know what? I learned now what I don't want. That's now giving me clarity of what I do want. Or it might be that you do something, you're like, wow, I love this, but it's not perfect. Here's what would make it perfect. Oh, now I have an idea of what I want to move toward, right? And what can make this even better. And you're going to get that clarity through action this month, okay? But it comes through, again, action of, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where I'm going right now. I don't know. I'm embracing not knowing. I'm embracing being exactly where I am. I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 for you. Really nice confirmation again. Embracing where I am and not trying to get somewhere else, and just being where I am and trusting that by taking action, by taking whatever action feels aligned, I will learn very quickly what I want and what I don't want. And then from there, I can start taking more intentional action that's going to truly bring me the enjoyment, the life force, the success I want, the fun, the vitality, the play. It's going to be just this beautiful, like this is your journey, right? This is right here. We have this arc of like, very for you, the way the cards come out, this linear journey of where you've been healing, closing out old cycles. not quite knowing who you are since you've come out on the other end of it. And then once you've accepted not knowing who you are, where you're going, or what's coming next in your career or money or whatever, and just being where you are and being okay with that and going, I'm alive and I am who I am and that's enough, which is, by the way, one of my favorite mantras right now. I am who I am and who I am is enough, right? So you're welcome to use that if that resonates with you through this void period. Deck 4. But once you've done that, then it's like, then you'll start to see things that kind of have just this little glimmer, this little sparkle of interest or intrigue or excitement for you. And as you say yes to those things and you open yourself to those things, you're going to learn very quickly. You'll start to get clarity through action of this is what I want, what I don't want. And then you start to know who you are and who you're not. And then all of a sudden you're out of that void state and you're on a path to something you want. You have a goal, a vision in mind, and you can start moving toward it. And it's going to be beautiful. Deck 4. Like, look at how beautiful this card is. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to give you life and give others life and be a force to be reckoned with. And you, I just saw 1414, also beautiful. You are going to be a force to be reckoned with. That's what you're heading toward this month. We're going to get more clarity on all this. We're going to get more messages for you. But the main thing here the universe is saying is be okay with where you are. There's nothing wrong with where you are. Deck 4. There's nothing wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. You're not behind. You're not, it's not too late for you. You're not ill-equipped. You're not, you're not lost. Ooh, you're not lost, Deck 4. You're just in an in-between state because you're between chapters and it's just time for you to start your new one and open up to the excitement and adventure of it, right? We had a little bit of this adventure and similarity in deck 4 or deck 3. So if you felt called to that, you could go back and watch that. But for you, this is much more about acceptance of where you are rather than closing out old cycles, right? Which is what a lot of deck 3 was about. So, all right, deck 4. What else do we have for deck 4? Any other messages? At least one more card here. See what these are. Ooh, I think we have one more trying to come through. It is. All right, let's see what you have. Oh my goodness. Of course, embrace what is. All right. I don't know how we could be any clearer, right? Like, the universe is very clear, like, void card. Embrace what is. Be where you are. Be okay with where you are. I know it can be maddening to get the same advice over and over, but the universe is saying that this is a time for you to embrace exactly what is and where you are, and all of it is perfect and divinely orchestrated. Deck 4. The universe is saying, again, the way you'll come through it is practicing that curiosity. Again, just be curious. Like, this is some nice kind of perspective for you to have, right? This month is just be curious about things. Don't make stories about things, just be curious about things. So be curious about where you are instead of making it wrong or telling stories about, just go, what can I learn about where I am right now? What can I learn about myself? What can I learn about myself when I don't know who I am? And in doing that, you start to learn who you are, right? Like, what can I learn about myself when I don't know what to do next about money or about my job or about my career? Oh, well, now I've learned a little bit more about myself and about my situation. Maybe that gives me some ideas, right? Like, be curious. Curiosity is going to be your best friend this month. Acceptance and curiosity. Acceptance of where you are and curiosity of what lessons or opportunities are available where you are. It's a great question to ask yourself. Whenever you feel stuck this month, what opportunities are available to me, or what lessons are available to me, or what inspirations or ideas are available to me with where I am right now? Because you're never really stuck. You're never really stuck. It's just your perspective of it, right? But when we shift that perspective to be, ooh, what can I learn here? What opportunities here? We're no longer stuck. We're very magically okay with where we are and then can move through it without even really trying. We also have flock together. Don't be afraid to ask for support, right? Don't be afraid to ask the people around you, your loved ones, your friends, family, even coworkers, to just support you in being where you are, right? Like, be where you are with others. I am getting this very strong nudge that there are many people around you who feel very similarly to how you feel right now, kind of in this void state. And that's something that, like, really find those people and bond together with them. And they're some of them are people who are going to surprise you in your life, where you're like, wow, I had no idea you were going through something similar. Like, it's almost like identity crisis, or, crisis of what am I doing next in my life or my business or my career or with money. I didn't know you were dealing with this. You always seem to have it so together. And they're like, are you kidding me? I've been feeling this way for a long time. Like, there's going to be a lot of wisdom and a lot of collective support available to you. And I'm also, getting that just to let you know, if you need more people to support you and to talk about you with this sort of stuff, that's a beautiful aspect of the Wealth Vibe membership. So you're welcome to come find community there, flock together with us there, because we've all been in these void states, right? And for some reason, the universe is asking me to share this with you. I went through a really intense void state that I've only recently come out of, especially in career, but it was tied into my identity. And I'm getting to share this with you because it might help you. But when I went through I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. And when I was pregnant with her, it was a very difficult pregnancy that kind of rattled everything I thought I knew about myself, and who I thought I was, and my kind of concept of myself and my identity. And then when I came out of it, the other side, my postpartum, newborn phase was very difficult for me. And I didn't know who I was anymore. And I'm someone who I felt like I've always known who I was my whole life. And all of a sudden I didn't know who I was anymore. And because I run my business is an extension of me and what I love to do and who I am. I saw 2020, and that was when a lot of this started, was end of 2020. That was when my daughter was conceived. So oh my gosh, perfect confirmation. So the interesting thing was that I didn't realize I didn't know who I was for so long. And because my business is very much like, what do I want to do? And I go in alignment with what feels right to me. I realized what I was doing in my business, which I'd built a multiple 6-figure business over a few years. What I realized was after I had my daughter, I was like, that's not me anymore. And that's not what I want to be doing anymore. I was still in the same realm. I was doing stuff with money and mindset and manifestation, but it was all in the human design realm, which I still love. It's no longer what I want to be focused on and known for, right? And so I very slowly started to come out of that. And it took me up until about the beginning of this year to feel like I fully had come out of that. And so that was a few long years of being in a void state. And I fought against it so much for so long. And I just wanted to know who I was, or I wanted to have clear direction. I wanted to be back in love with my business again, like all these things. And I just didn't want to be where I was, which was not knowing who I was and not knowing what I wanted to do in my business. And I fought it for so long, probably longer than I needed to. But it was when I got okay with not knowing who I was and knowing that I was in this kind of in-between limbo state and trusting that one day I would know again. It was like that's when things started to shift again, and things started happening and occurring in my life that I feel like I manifested in some way, but also I was really ready to receive them then, as in embracing what was. And those things, I said yes to things, and I did things, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I love that. The card readings that you see now were one of those things that I started doing at the end of last year. And it was something that had been suggested to me that I thought of doing, and I kind of fought against it, and then I did one, and I was like, that was amazing. That was amazing. I want to do that all the time. I love that. That was so fun. And then I put it up, and it did really well. For my channel at the time was really small. I think I got like 1,700 views, which was huge for me at the time. And it was just like I went to these extremes, and I learned through them. And now I do something that truly brings me joy. But it was by embracing what is, and I needed to ask for support, right? So I don't know why I was called to share that story with you and why I was nudged to share that with you, but I do hope that helps you feel less alone. I think it was, as this card came up, my guides were like, make them flock together with them right now. Help them feel less alone. And I don't mind sharing that sort of stuff. I've shared this very freely with my audience and my email list and everything over the last couple of years, but yeah, I felt that was important to share with you here. Deck 4 is that you're not alone in feeling this way, okay? You're not alone. So many of us have gone through it, and you can come out, like where I am now is 20 times better financially, success-wise, opportunity-wise, alignment-wise for me than where I was a few years ago, like and before this void state and during this void state. It's like I am living the sun card right now, and that's what's available for you. That's what you're going to start moving toward this month. So yeah, hopefully that helps. If not, apologies for the long personal story, but I do know that for some of you that was what maybe you needed to hear. Wealth Wounds card. You have gone through so much and you have come out so strong, my loves. Like the strength you carry, the universe is saying, is incredible. It is inspiring. People around you are inspired by what you just healed through. You have gained such strength and such power from it. And even if you can't see that in this void state, like the universe sees it and other people are going to see it soon, you're going to see it soon too. But you have grown so much. You have grown so much. That's what the universe is saying. And there's just such a strength in you. Like I'm bowled over by like the strength you have, even, but I'm getting that you don't know it yet because of this void card, right? You're not seeing yet what I can see in you in this card and these cards and what others can see in you. But you're going to see it soon. You're going to see it as you start to take actions. You're going to start to see how you've changed after whatever this old cycle was that you moved through with these first cards. You're going to see how much you've changed. You haven't, you're saying you haven't had enough experiences as this newer reborn version of you yet to truly understand the extent of your power and your strength that you've gained from from everything you've moved through. Like, wow. It's just incredible. But you're going to know it as you start to take action. You're going to start to know it this month. And then the universe is saying you're going to, by the end of the month, you might not be fully at this point of being like, okay, everything in my life, I know exactly where I'm going, I know exactly what I'm doing. But you're going to have a much clearer picture. You're going to feel much less in that void state, probably almost fully out of it, if not fully out of it. And you're going to kind of have an opportunity at the very end of the month, like I'm getting the 28th through the 30th of April, to take a big leap into a new opportunity. It might be a new job that at the beginning of this month you couldn't even fathom, or you didn't even know was an option, right? Or you didn't think you'd be a candidate for, or something like that. Like you're going to have an opportunity to take a big leap into something, and the universe is saying, again, open yourself. If it feels aligned, say yes and see what happens. See what happens. See where you land. Because there's so much, because of all the strength and all of this power you've garnered through what this chapter you've just closed out. Like you're more unstoppable and capable of success and of abundance, especially of like massive compensation, than you realize. Yeah, you are so capable of it. You just don't realize it yet. And you'll start to see it. You'll start to witness your own power, your own capacity for wealth, your own worthiness and deservingness of wealth. You'll start to witness it in yourself as you start taking more actions this month. We have stromatolite and fern, akasha. Strip back and simplify. Look to your origins. So if you were really, really struggling to be okay with not knowing who you are, where you're going, what you need to be doing next in your career, money-wise, or just personally, if you're truly struggling with that at all this month and being okay and embracing what is, then look back to your origins. This could be a call to look back at your ancestral roots, to look back at past lives, to look back at your family line, right? Like look at where you come from in that sense. But I get the sense more, it's like more just in this lifetime, like look back to what truly excited you as a child, what made you feel alive, what were some of your best memories, and how can you bring more of that into where you are now? How can you even maybe reconnect with that younger version of yourself, right? And go back to your roots and what makes you you in your eyes, right? Or what excites you or nourishes you in your eyes. If you need to, right? We also have citrine and dandelion, which citrine, honestly, for abundance, beautiful. And dandelion here, make a wish. Clearing comparison, surrender to magic. So again, surrender. Being okay with not knowing
who exactly you are. It's okay to not know who you are at times, right? If anything, I hope that my story I shared with you highlights that it's okay to not know who you are at times. It's okay. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It's fine to not know who you are sometimes. Sometimes when we let ourselves not know who we are or where we're going or what we need to do next, and we're just like, I just am, and I'm enough. However I am, whoever I am, even if I don't know what that means or looks like or how to define that or explain that, I'm still enough, and I'm here, and that's enough. And just knowing that and surrendering that and just being in that moment surrendered and just be okay with where you are, you end up surrendering to magic because you're open to limitless possibility because you've dropped all labels of who you think you have to be or who you think you need to become or who you think you are. So 2929, lots of nice little repeating numbers for you today. So know that sometimes the most power comes from being in the void state, comes from not knowing who you are or where you're going, because then you're open to limitless possibility. The universe is full of limitless possibility, especially around money. Money can come to you any which way, deck 4. Money can come to you so many ways, more ways than you can imagine in every single moment. But often we think it only can come one or two ways, like a paycheck or a client or something like that. And so we close ourselves off to it energetically, mentally, action-wise. But what I'm getting is that you're going to not only emerge stronger from where you are now and start to witness all of the strength you have created in yourself in the last chapter of your life and get to know your own kind of new powers and skills that you've created as you start taking action. Not only are you going to get to do that this month and start on that, which is really beautiful, but you're also going to find the power of not knowing. You're going to understand that in a deeper way. And that's honestly probably what's going to help you embrace the void state, is knowing that, like, you're going to start to see that the more you embrace it, the more synchronicities, the more miracles, the more amazing things happen because you're open to it, because you're not saying, this is how I'm going to make the money and here's the plan. And so now you've shut off yourself to all the other possibilities. You're wide open when you're in the void state. You're wide open. And the universe can just keep pouring things in once you've accepted where you are. So that's kind of the work for you this month, but also the blessing for you this month is understanding that, because very few people truly ever understand that, especially around money or career or success or opportunities in their life, is most people don't understand that sometimes the less you know, the richer you are, not just in life experience and enjoyment, which can be true, but in money, in opportunities, in success, because you're not limiting yourself. You become limitless when you become the unknown. Whoa, that was beautiful. Oh, I feel like I need to write that quote down somewhere. Sometimes the things that come out of my mouth when I'm channeling here. All right, deck 4, this is beautiful. Just know, I want to say here before we wrap up this reading, if you feel like you need that support, please come join me in the Wealth Vibe membership. And if not, just know that there are so many people out there who are experiencing this void state of where you are. And truly, if you need support, like true support, you feel like you're really struggling, please seek out a professional to help you with that, right? Like, again, there's nothing wrong with asking for support. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Everything is just a tool to help us move through whatever we're moving through in a way that feels good to us and allows us to truly get to know this next version of ourselves, right? So just know that you're not alone in your void state, in your stagnation, in your frustration, in your impatience. I've been there for a long time. I've been there more times than I like to count. But in doing this work for 6 years, I found that everyone reaches void states at some point in their life or another. And they might not feel fun, but it's only because we're telling the story of, I don't know who I am and I need to know who I am. Why? Be whoever you are, whatever that is, without the labels, without the titles, and see what that opens up for you, right? So I hope you enjoyed this reading, deck 4. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Please comment below and let me know what you took from it, how much it resonated, or what you're manifesting this coming month. Your comments truly do mean so much to me. I can't always respond to them all. I try to read as many of them as I can. I do read quite a few, and they really mean the world to me. So, yeah, please comment below if you feel called. If you are not already, you are, of course, welcome to subscribe to this channel for future card readings for abundance.
And if you want to pre-order your own copy of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, the link for that is in the description and pinned comment below the video. And if you're ready to truly tap into and harness your power to manifest money, come join me inside the Wealth Vibe membership. It's an absolute steal of a price, and we have an amazing community of like-minded, high-vibe people in there. Tons of resources to support your spiritually aligned wealth journey. And our Quantum Leap for Abundance Challenge is starting April 1st in there, and I would just love to get to quantum leap into more abundance with you this coming month. So with all that being said, I'm wishing you massive prosperity, abundance, and acceptance and knowing of your true power and propensity for wealth this month. Deck 4, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.